Welcome back to Briggs on Books, our international talk show where we talk to authors from all over the world about not just about their books, but their processes. We talk to publishers, editors, paginators. If you write a book, you got to get a paginator to make a line up right on all the pages. There's all these things that go into creating books. We like to talk to authors, and we also like to talk to people who are in the process of going through this muck, trying to figure it all out. It's one thing to write a book, but to get it written, get it published, get it out there and promoted, there's so many steps. It's my pleasure to have a guest right now who's going through it. J. Gordon Manias. Welcome, J. Gordon Manias.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We rehearsed his name 20 times. I think I got it right, though. Now, I'm going to put the cover of your book up. And am I right? You're just kind of towards the tail end of writing it?
Yeah, I am. It's gone through multiple edits, and I've got it down to the point where there might be some minor things here and there that's left. But in the process of trying to get my preparation and ducks in a row, one of the things I did was I had that cover designed. I had that idea for a while, and I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger on getting that done since I knew I wanted to have that.
Yeah. Well, it's an intriguing cover.
Yes, and it comes from a pivotal point in the story. It's a snapshot of a scene and a pivotal point of the story.
Now, as you're writing, as you're getting toward the end, you say you send it out to editors. You have people read the book. What's your process at this point?
So I got it done. I had some developmental edits. I had some copy edits. When I got through with a lot of the heavy editing, then some copy edits, further copy edits. And then I wanted to get a sense of, well, what would this be like for just people reading it? Mm-hmm. Someone who's not a professional in writing necessarily or editing, just people that like books and want to read. Mm-hmm. And so I put it out there for a number of different reviewers, like beta readers and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And I got a pretty positive response from that. Actually, if you go to the website, jgordonfiction.com, that book is highlighted there, and there's a number of different short description reviews that have come back from that.
Now, I get this thing, I'm a writer, all of us writers, there's a thing I call can't see the forest for the trees, because we know the story, we know everything about it, and sometimes you turn it over to someone else and they might say, this doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, and it's gone through quite a dynamic. Mm-hmm. It started out actually as a short story.
Nice.
And once I started writing the story, as I dug into it, there was a problem with how I wanted to lay out the story. Yeah. And as I came to a conclusion that I had to change something, and an idea came to me, and once I did that, then it opened up a whole thing, and I realized it's not going to be a short story; it's going to be a novel.
It'll be a novel.
Well, as I went on and on, more things kept coming, and I saw, well, this is going to have to be even larger. It's going to have to be like 2 books at least. Wow. Finally got to the point where, this is going to have to be a trilogy. And that's where I'm at. So this first one basically is done. I've actually got the second book in the series probably about 60%. Mm-hmm. And the third book, I've got a few chapters into that.
Tell me about your writing process. Are you really disciplined? You get up at 6 o'clock every morning and sit down and put in 4 hours?
It's not, for me, it's not an everyday thing. I actually I'm retired now, but when I started this, I was still working. And so I actually had a job where there was a lot of downtime I worked for a company that did this work for different clients, and it was sporadic. And I had to be there. So a good amount of the time I spent actually doing some of the writing while I was waiting for work to come in.
That's great. What a great, you found something to fill in that time. That is great.
Yeah.
Now, again, here's the cover, Apocalypsis. Is that right?
Yes. Yep.
What can you tell us about it without spoiling it for us?
Well, taken it just from what I can remember of what I have the description on the website. So it tells the story of this family, the Callahan family, Ruth and George Callahan, aboard the ship, the Scaphos. And early in the story, she receives a note that is a life-changing and very troubling note that affects the family, affects her, and the whole understanding of who they really are and who the ship really, what the ship really is.
Amazing. By the way, I'm zooming in on the cover, so we really get a good view of what's going on there. Pretty dramatic. Whatever's happening there looks very dramatic.
Yeah, I was really pleased with it. I had the idea. I knew exactly what I wanted, and I found a guy that in pretty short order was able to really encapsulate that.
He was able to grab your vision and put it down on paper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, I have your web address on the screen, jgordonfiction.com. Am I right?
Right. That's right. Yep.
What would our viewers find there? Could they get a preview of the book and an idea what it's going to be about?
The only thing they'll get is kind of that description that I gave at this point. And yeah, they'll see the cover.
Well, we're trying to get a little buzz going on this book. So for our viewers, go to the website, get started, get an idea what it's going to be about, and probably.
And there's a number of reviews there too as well. That it maybe gives you a taste of maybe kind of what people are thinking about it that have read it.
Very good. And maybe when it's ready to come out, maybe that'll pop up on the website. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Got any idea when it might come out?
I anticipate later this year sometime. It's kind of dependent, I think, on how much of a headwind I get with marketing and getting my name and getting people interested.
Well, I'm excited about it already, Gordon. I'm anxious for it to come out, and you're an interesting guy, and I just like your process and your vision. I hope to read it soon.
Yeah, I hope to be there very soon. It's been a process, probably about a little over 3 years in the making.
People don't realize what goes into putting a book together.
Yes.
We're right at the end of our time, Gordon. Any last thoughts you want to share with our viewers, or about anything in the world, or about the book?
I think I guess I'd encourage people to go to the website jgordonfiction.com and check it out. I've also got a number of projects I've started, and I have just a quick blurb for each of those projects as well.
I've got a feeling this won't be the last book we hear about from you, J. Gordon Manias. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you'll come back soon, especially when the book's coming out.
Yeah, well, definitely.
And for our viewers, don't go anywhere, because we'll be back with another author right after this.
Okay, thank you, Mike.